How did life begin?
Any sufficiently advanced technology is indistinguishable from magic.
If you're watching this and you're alive, then you're a living organism that is replete with chiral molecules. Not only is it true of molecular structure, but it can be true down to the helical structure of ribonucleic acid and DNA as well. These can twist to the right or to the left with equal probability, and yet the helix of DNA of living organisms on Earth turn only to the right. This chirality of molecules and even of RNA and DNA has fascinated some of the greatest scientific minds of all time, including Louis Pasteur, who was one of the first to observe it. Legendary chemist and writer Primo Levi had a lifelong fascination with this question. What is it about the universe that created handedness in life itself on Earth? We know of no other organisms throughout the universe that have DNA that we could compare, so perhaps it's a one-off effect, but perhaps it is a constituent of the building blocks of matter itself. Could the riddle of life's chirality be hidden or related to the nature of chirality in elementary particle physics? Well, the first clue could be in the nature of that perpetual annoyance, dust. But some of the dust falls to Earth, and some of that dust from micrometeorites coming from our solar system contains traces of amino acids. And some of these amino acids on the dust that falls to Earth have more content, more versions, and more examples of left-handed versions of amino acids. Radio telescopes like this one have detected chiral molecules in deep space. Asymmetries are also present at the foundations of physics, at the highest energies that emanate in our cosmos. Li and Yang in the 1950s predicted a certain fundamental force called the weak force would be chiral. We talk about familiar forces like gravity and electromagnetism all the time. We experience them every day via electromagnetic light or gravity when you drop something. But there are also two other forces that are much less familiar that at different energies are expected to unify with these two other lower energy forces, including the strong atomic force, which binds nuclei together, and the weak force, which is responsible for radioactive decay. Now, it turns out that the weak force exhibits chirality. So when cosmic rays break up in the atmosphere of Earth, they produce particles called pions. Pions, slamming into the atmosphere, produce showers of particles, including electrons, and their heavier siblings called muons, all of which are driven and impacted by the chiral weak force. So the big question of how life began may remain a mystery for now, but the twisted nature of the universe may be hinting to a direction that's worth pursuing. I'm Brian Keating, Chancellor's Distinguished Professor of Physics and co-director of the Arthur C. Clarke Center for Human Imagination, thanking you for watching this episode of Into the Impossible.